You know how it is? Everyone's looking for that edge when it comes to feeling good, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Whether it's like the latest superfood or a new take on an old remedy, we're all exploring ways to boost our health.
Mm-hmm.
And that got us really digging into something you might not know much about, but which turns out to be a pretty big deal, Cubillos.
Or edible bird's nest, as most people probably know
That's
it.
exactly.
And yet we've been poring over a recent report from Cognitive Market Research, and it paints this fascinating picture of a substantial global market.
Substantial's right, but it operates somewhat under the radar for many, doesn't it?
It really does.
Under the radar, but
Yes.
massive. We're talking a market valued at USD 5,814.8 million in 2024.
Wow.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Projections show it reaching, get this, USD 8,461.1 million by 2032.
Okay, so that's what, a CAGR of 4.80%, nearly 5% annual growth?
Exactly. That kind of sustained growth makes you wonder what's really behind it, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And for those who haven't encountered it before, cubulos is basically formed from the saliva nests built by swiftlets, little birds.
Right, saliva
Yeah.
nests.
And traditionally, especially in Chinese medicine, it's been highly valued for its, purported benefits.
Like what specifically?
Things like improving skin's appearance, strengthening immunity, overall vitality. The report highlights its pretty impressive nutritional content, too,
Which is?
packed with proteins, amino acids, various minerals, the good stuff.
Now, bird's nest might sound a bit, well, out there initially,
Uh-huh.
and you might be thinking, okay, interesting fact, but why does this matter to me?
Right.
But what really grabbed our attention in this report were the surprising insights into the companies leading this charge, the real engines driving this expansion.
And the potential bumps in the road, too, right? Plus the opportunities.
Exactly.
Okay.
So our goal today is to give you a clear, insightful understanding of this unique corner of the health and wellness world.
Okay, so let's dive into those engines then. What's actually fueling this pretty significant growth? The report points to several key factors.
Right. First up, it points to a definite increase in what consumers know about nutrition. People are just more informed, more proactive about health choices.
Yeah, you see that everywhere.
And this growing awareness naturally leads to, well, a higher demand for premium supplements. A category Cubillos certainly seems to fit into.
It definitely has that premium perception.
So what kind of nutritional benefits are really resonating, do you think? Is it the protein or something else?
That's a great question. The report suggests it's a combination, actually. The high protein and specific amino acid profile are certainly key, appealing to those focused on general wellness, maybe recovery.
Okay.
But there's also a strong element of traditional belief tied to specific benefits, like, say, respiratory health or skin radiance.
Ah, the skin connection.
Yeah, and that resonates deeply with certain cultural groups. So it's a blend,
Okay.
perceived traditional efficacy and a growing understanding of the actual nutritional components.
That makes sense, that mix of tradition and modern understanding. The report also mentions a rise in demand for premium health supplements generally. What makes Cubillos stand out in such a crowded market?
Well, its unique history, I think, and the cultural significance gives it a really distinct position.
It's not just another powder from a lab.
Exactly. Unlike many other supplements, it carries centuries of tradition and, frankly, perceived prestige. That, plus its natural origin, appeals to consumers seeking authenticity and, premium quality.
Good point. And it's not just about wanting these products. It's about being able to get them. The report talks about expanding global distribution networks.
Critical factor.
Are there specific regions or channels that have seen the most growth in making Cubillos more accessible?
Well, initially, growth was really concentrated within those traditional Asian markets, specialized retailers, traditional medicine shops.
Right, the expected places.
But the report highlights a significant expansion now through e-commerce platforms, huge channel, and also into health food stores, even some pharmacies in North America and Europe.
Interesting, so it's breaking out.
Yeah, this broader availability is definitely contributing to growth beyond its traditional strongholds.
Makes sense. And of course, the ability to buy often comes down to having the means. The report notes increasing disposable incomes, especially in Asia.
A key economic driver, for sure.
Is it possible to pinpoint which demographics within Asia are really driving this consumption? Any detail there?
The report doesn't get super granular, but it suggests the growth is particularly strong within, say, middle to upper income urban populations.
Where specifically?
Countries like China, Hong Kong, Singapore, these are groups with both the financial capacity and, importantly, that cultural affinity for these types of products.
It really underscores the importance of those deeply rooted cultural traditions in Asian countries, doesn't it?
Ab-
This isn't just a fad, it's something valued for generations. Are there any indications in the report about how these traditions are evolving, maybe with younger generations?
That's a crucial point. And yes, the report suggests that while the core beliefs remain, younger generations are increasingly looking for, well, convenience.
Ah, convenient formats.
Yeah, and also scientifically validated benefits. They want the proof. This is likely driving the demand for those ready-to-consume products we see more of, and also the emphasis on R&D from the leading companies.
It's fascinating how tradition adapts. The report also mentions the growing popularity of functional foods and natural supplements overall. So Kiblos is kind of riding that wave too.
Absolutely. The broader consumer interest in adding functional foods and natural ingredients into their diets creates a really favorable environment for Cubelos. It just aligns perfectly with seeking natural solutions for health.
Okay, now shifting to the production side a bit. The report highlights advancements in processing technologies. What kind of advancements are we talking about and how do they help growth?
Primarily, they focus on improving hygiene, which is critical, also preserving nutritional integrity and extending shelf life.
Like what kind of tech?
Things like freeze drying, advanced sterilization techniques, developing extraction methods that maintain the bioactive compounds. It all contributes to producing safer, more appealing products for a wider audience.
And I imagine those stringent quality control measures the report mentions play a huge role in building trust, especially at that premium price point.
Exactly. Huge role. Given the price and the traditional claims, consumers expect really high standards. Robust quality control, testing for contaminants, verifying nutritional content, it's all essential for maintaining confidence and meeting regulations.
We're also seeing more and more ready-to-consume Cubelos products, like those little bottled drinks. How significant is this shift towards convenience?
Oh, it's a very significant driver, particularly for busy urban consumers who, let's face it, probably don't have the time or inclination to prepare raw bird's nest.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Right, so the availability of convenient, ready-to-drink formats really expands the potential consumer base and makes it easier to integrate into daily routines.
And then there's the ever-growing world of online shopping. E-commerce penetration gets a mention. How has the internet changed the game for Cubelos?
It's democratized access significantly. Consumers in regions without specialized retailers can now easily buy high-quality stuff online.
From anywhere, basically.
Pretty much. And furthermore, digital marketing lets brands directly reach target audiences, educate them on the benefits, and build brand loyalty in ways just not possible before.
The report really emphasizes the dominance of the Asia-Pacific region, though. China, Hong Kong, Singapore specifically. Any nuances within those markets?
Well, those markets have the longest history of consumption, the strongest cultural integration of cupulos. China, obviously, with its huge population and growing affluence, is the largest single market.
Makes sense.
Hong Kong and Singapore, while smaller population-wise, have very high per capita consumption, and they act as important trading hubs, too.
But it's also interesting that North America and Europe are flagged as emerging growth regions. What's driving interest there in the West?
It seems to be a confluence of things. The increasing interest in alternative and natural health solutions generally,
Okay.
coupled with a growing awareness, maybe curiosity, about traditional Asian medicine. Plus, you have significant Asian diaspora populations in these regions, creating a sort of natural initial market.
So they bring the tradition with them.
Exactly. And as these communities share traditions and benefits become more widely known, broader adoption is possible, maybe likely.
What's fascinating is how companies operating in this market are evaluated. It's not just about who sells the most, is it?
No, not at all. The report outlines a really multifaceted evaluation process.
Okay, so revenue and market share are definitely key indicators, right? Shows their standing, how they're meeting demand.
Sure, the basics.
But the report also points to product diversity. Why is offering a range so important here?
Well, having a diverse portfolio from raw nests, maybe, to ready-to-drink beverages, concentrated extracts, it lets companies cater to different consumer preferences, different uses, different price points, too.
So you reach more people?
Yeah, it broadens their market reach and reduces reliance on just one product format. Less risk.
And in a market where perceived quality is so crucial, Those technological advancements in processing and quality assurance must be a huge differentiator.
Absolutely huge. Investing in advanced processing tech ensures safety, maintains nutritional value, allows for consistent quality. That builds trust and helps companies comply with, increasingly strict regulations.
Sustainability is also highlighted.
hmm
How are companies being evaluated on their ethical practices? Is that becoming more important?
Increasingly important, yes, for brand reputation and consumer perception. Companies showing commitment to ethical sourcing, like ensuring Swiftlet well-being, minimizing environmental impact, they're viewed more favorably.
By consumers.
By consumers, yeah, and they're probably better positioned for long-term growth, too. It's becoming table stakes almost.
Geographical presence seems fundamental too. Having strong distribution in those key Asian markets, but also expanding into those emerging Western regions, that gives a real competitive edge.
Precisely. A well-established distribution network ensures products are available where demand is high and allows companies to capitalize on growing demand in new regions. It's about reach.
Innovation seems critical for staying ahead. The report mentions investment in R&D. What kind of innovations are we actually seeing?
We're seeing innovation in a few areas, developing new product formulations that combine Cubillos with other beneficial ingredients, think collagen, ginseng, various herbal extracts.
Value-added stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's also research into maximizing the bioavailability of the nutrients, exploring new delivery methods, making it work better, essentially.
Strategic partnerships also get a mention. What kinds of collaborations are proving beneficial?
While collaborations with traditional medicine practitioners can enhance credibility, reach consumers who trust those traditional remedies.
Makes sense.
And partnerships with, say, wellness brands or luxury retailers can expand distribution channels and tap into totally new customer segments.
And in today's digital world, a strong online presence is just non-negotiable, right?
Mm.
The report highlights digital marketing strategies. What's working there?
Targeted online ads, definitely. Engaging content marketing that educates consumers about the benefits. And collaborations with health and wellness influencers that's becoming increasingly important for building awareness and driving sales.
So it's a really dynamic ecosystem, lots of factors at play. The report then goes on to identify some of the top manufacturers. Let's talk about who these key players are and what sets them apart. Leading the pack with a significant 14.2% market share is Scrine.
Yes, Grine. They've really established themselves through a strong reputation for consistently high-quality products. That big market share reflects their long-standing presence and extensive distribution network.
Where are they strong?
Key Asian markets, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Southeast Asia, and they're making inroads into North America and Europe, too.
That's a commanding share. The report estimates their 2023 revenue was around, USD 1.4 billion, with Cubillos being a primary driver.
Big numbers.
It sounds like their focus on strict quality control for their premium white and red bird's nest, offered in various formats, is really working. And their move towards incorporating it into modern wellness formulations, emphasizing sustainable sourcing, seems smart long-term.
Definitely. Following closely is Ennis Group, holding about 12.5% market share.
Okay, number 2.
They're headquartered in Malaysia, also expanded across Asia and increasingly visible in the US and Europe. Estimated 2023 revenue around USD 1.1 billion, again with Cubillos significant.
What's interesting about Ennis is their strong emphasis on a scientifically backed processing,
Yeah,
aimed at maximizing nutritional value, ensuring safety.
the science angle.
Yeah, they also boast a very comprehensive product line, traditional nests, bottled drinks, extracts, and their investment in R&D, integrating Cubillos with other things like collagen or ginseng, plus direct partnerships for traceability. Sounds like key pillars for them.
Seems so. Next up, Dragon One. They capture about 10.8% market share.
Dragon One, okay.
Strong foothold in China, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and actively growing in Japan, Korea, the Middle East. Estimated 2023 revenue roughly USD 950 million. Cubillos a substantial portion.
Dragon One seems to have carved out a specific niche, focusing on premium, handcrafted, chemical-free nests.
High end.
Very high-end. Diverse range, even customized products for luxury clients. Their strategic emphasis on branding and using e-commerce to reach affluent consumers seems very effective for their target market.
Then, holding 9.7% market share is Xiamen Shuangdanma Industry Development Co., Ltd. Bit of a mouthful.
Yeah, let's call them Shuangdan.
Okay, Shuangdanma. They stand out as a leading producer and exporter within China. Robust distribution across Southeast Asia, select European markets, and expanding into North America and Australia. Estimated 2023 revenue around USD 780 million. Consistent growth.
The report highlights their meticulous processing, rigorous quality assurance. They offer a broad-spectrum white, golden nests, beverages, and have diversified into functional foods, nutraceuticals, even skincare.
Skincare. Interesting.
Yeah, and their proactive investment in sustainable farming initiatives is also noteworthy.
Good point. Rounding out the top five is Humanyanganyan with about 8.5% share,
Yum Ganyan.
recognized as a key player in the premium segment. Strong in mainland China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, with increasing demand in places like Singapore, Thailand, South Korea. Estimated 2023 revenue approximately USD 680 million. Steady growth there too.
Shimin Ganyan seems to distinguish itself through its emphasis on natural and organic processing.
Another angle on quality.
Right. Product line includes dried nests, instant soups, health tonics, and they've also expanded into beauty and skincare. Their strategic alliances with luxury retailers and wellness brands have likely played a big role in solidifying that premium image.
So, those five really represent the major players, each with distinct strengths and strategies. However, the report also identifies potential challenges, threats that could impact them and the whole market.
Yes, crucial to consider the headwinds. Increasing regulatory scrutiny is one factor. As the market grows, governments will likely implement stricter rules, right? Production, quality, labeling.
Almost certainly. And linked to that are the growing ethical concerns around swiftlet farming. There's increasing pressure for more sustainable, ethical harvesting, conserving the swiftlet populations.
Which could mean what?
Stricter regulations, potentially higher production costs for everyone involved.
Fluctuations in raw material prices are always a risk, aren't they? Especially with natural resources. Changes in swiftlet population's environment, disease could definitely hit the cost of cubelos.
Definitely a vulnerability. Another significant concern is counterfeit products.
Ah, the fakes.
Yeah. Given the high value, there's a risk of imitation or adulterated stuff entering the market. That can really damage consumer trust in all brands and undermine the whole industry's reputation.
That's a serious issue. If people lose confidence in authenticity, quality, it could hit the entire market hard. Does the report suggest solutions?
It suggests that developing and implementing effective authentication tech is becoming increasingly important.
Like what?
Technologies like blockchain for traceability, maybe advanced DNA testing, things that can verify authenticity and protect consumers.
Makes sense.
And finally, the report notes the ongoing evolution of dietary preferences, the availability of alternative supplements. Companies need to keep demonstrating the unique value of Cubillos to keep consumers interested.
So, not necessarily smooth sailing, even for the big guys.
Yeah.
But what about new companies? Anyone looking to break in? The report offers some interesting angles for entrepreneurs.
It does. Differentiation is absolutely paramount for new entrants. You can't just copy the big players. A strong focus on quality assurance right from the start, building a distinctive brand identity crucial for standing out.
Emphasizing transparency in sourcing, highlighting ethical farming, seems like a powerful way for newcomers to differentiate, especially with that growing consumer awareness around sustainability.
Exactly. In today's market, many consumers are willing to pay a premium for products they see as responsibly sourced, ethically produced. Clearly, communicating those values can be a significant competitive advantage.
And leveraging e-commerce and digital marketing effectively is essential for new players, right? To reach people without massive ad budgets.
Absolutely. Social media, influencer collaborations, creating informative, engaging content online, highly effective ways for new brands to build awareness, educate consumers, and drive sales.
Storytelling also seems valuable, sharing the narrative behind the sourcing, the cultural significance, clearly articulating the health benefits that can create an emotional connection, foster loyalty.
Yeah, connect with people. The report also suggests exploring strategic partnerships could be smart for newcomers, collaborating with established wellness brands, maybe reputable restaurants, even TCM practitioners.
To gain access and credibility.
Exactly. Access new customers, enhance credibility. And finally, carefully considering pricing strategies is vital. While the high end exists, there might be opportunities for entry-level products too, appealing to a broader range.
Right, find a different segment.
Precisely. Segmenting offerings by quality and price could let new companies tap into different parts of the market and build a sustainable base.
So despite the big players, it sounds like there are pathways for new companies to succeed if they're smart about strategy and focus on differentiating. Looking ahead then, what are the major factors expected to drive continued growth?
The report reiterates the ongoing importance of tech advancements, not just in processing, but also in those authentication technologies we talked about, combating counterfeits, ensuring integrity.
And the ethical and sustainable sourcing focus isn't going away, is it?
Not likely. In fact, with growing environmental awareness, potential regulatory changes, it's likely to become even more critical for everyone in the market.
Further scientific research validating the health benefits. That will also be a significant driver, presumably.
Absolutely. The more robust the science supporting efficacy, the greater the appeal to a wider range of health-conscious consumers, perhaps those who were skeptical before.
We're also likely to see continued innovation in product formats, I guess, beyond just the drinks.
Yeah, while ready to drink is gaining traction, there's still potential for incorporating Cubelos into other functional foods, nutraceuticals, maybe even more cosmeceutical products.
And finally, market expansion beyond those traditional Asian strongholds represents a major growth opportunity.
Huge opportunity, but as the report emphasizes, success in new markets, Europe, North America, requires really understanding local preferences, cultural nuances, and the specific regulatory landscape, region by region.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it's clear the Cubillos market is, well, a fascinating and dynamic sector within global health and wellness.
Definitely, a market with deep historical roots experiencing significant modern growth, led by a handful of key players navigating a complex landscape.
Opportunities and challenges.
Yes, and while those established companies hold big market shares, the industry faces important considerations around sustainability, ethics, and maintaining trust against threats like counterfeits.
But on the flip side, the report highlights exciting potential for innovation, opportunities for new entrants who can differentiate, and the prospect of continued growth into new regions and categories.
Which leads us to a final thought for you, the listener. Consider that powerful interplay between long-standing cultural traditions and evolving scientific understanding in shaping the modern wellness landscape.
Hmm.
What other niche markets might possess similarly intriguing dynamics, similar hidden potential? And, maybe more broadly, how should we balance respect for tradition with the drive for innovation and that critical need for ethical considerations in global commerce today?
Definitely some compelling questions to ponder. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the intriguing world of the Cubillos market.